On cam, another sign Iran claims that the US-Israeli campaign failed to fully suppress its battlefield recovery efforts. The IRGC says it neutralized an unexploded AGM-154 JSOW glide bomb in Pishva, Tehran province. Another Western prize may now be headed for Iran's growing reverse engineering list, if Tehran's claims about recovered munitions hold up. Iran's IRGC said on May 1 that it had neutralized an unexploded AGM-154 JSOW glide bomb. The US-made bomb was described in Iranian reporting as a weapon used by enemy forces during the war against Iran. Tasnim-linked reporting said the IRGC disposal unit neutralized the AGM-154 JSOW in Pishva County in Tehran province. Iran has in recent days repeatedly claimed to be finding and neutralizing unexploded US munitions left behind by wartime strikes. This latest bomb disposal claim came amid separate Iranian assertions that recovered American munitions are being sent for technical study and possible reverse engineering. Earlier, Iran had already claimed a rare haul of largely intact US weapons as diplomacy remained stalled over a possible deal. State media say the cache includes advanced GBU and Blue Series missiles left behind after recent US-Israeli strikes on southern Iran. The IRGC says bomb disposal teams first neutralized the live warheads before sending the recovered missiles on to technical units for detailed analysis. Commanders openly state that all recovered missiles have been handed over for reverse engineering, hoping to strip out guidance, fusing, and warhead secrets. The Imam Sajjad Corps in Hormuzgan claims it has neutralized or destroyed more than 60 incoming missiles and drones since the war's opening strikes on February 28. That tally, they say, includes bunker buster bombs, cruise missiles, and advanced drones among the weapons shot down or found unexploded on Iranian soil. The IRGC now claims its bomb disposal work tied to the US-Israeli campaign in Hormuzgan province is completed, implying the immediate danger from duds there has been cleared, at least officially. In Zanjan province, the IRGC's Ansar al-Mahdi Corps says it has recovered more than 9,500 unexploded bomblets scattered across fields and around sensitive sites. Officials allege those bomblets came from US-Israeli cluster bombs used in aerial mining missions, designed to litter key locations with hidden explosives. The IRGC claims the aim was to contaminate critical and sensitive locations across Zanjan, making repairs and normal life dangerous long after the strike stopped. The same units say they neutralized or destroyed around 55 rockets and larger missiles in the province, adding to the picture of how much failed to detonate on impact. Among the most dramatic finds was a GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator, a huge bunker buster bomb the disposal teams say they defused and handed over intact to authorities. The discovery comes less than a month after the US-Israeli attacks ended in a ceasefire, underlining how much unexploded ordnance was left behind in the rush to pause hostilities. Iranian media say all the recovered weapons are now being studied to boost Iran's own defense capabilities, feeding into a long-standing reverse engineering effort. On May 1st, Trump said he was unsure who exactly the United States was negotiating with on the Iranian side, pointing to what he described as infighting and confusion in Tehran's leadership. Trump also appeared to boast about aggressive U.S. naval enforcement during the Hormuz blockade, with some reports saying he likened the Navy's seizures and interceptions to pirate-style actions.
I was saying, somebody said, sir, you don't really have to do it. You can call up and probably do it. I said, are you kidding me? Can you imagine? This is a crowd where I know so many killers, very successful people. Some are nice, some are horrendous people, but I like the nice ones and the horrendous ones also. We have some really killers. I'm looking out there, oh, these people, I've had to deal with them my whole life. They are brutal, but you get friendly with brutal people too. I'm dealing with some quite brutal people right now in the lovely country of Iran. They are very brutal, and I will tell you, we're doing very well. You cannot give Iran a nuclear weapon. It's all I can say. You cannot. Because they would use it on a place called Israel very quickly, and they would use it in the Middle East, and they'd use it in Europe, and I guess we'd be next, and it's not going to happen. Don't worry about it. We've taken apart. We've taken their Air Force is non-existent. It's gone. Navy. They had a very strong Navy. They had the strongest Navy by far in the Middle East, many times over. They have 159 ships. Every single ship is at the bottom of the sea right now. They have no anti-aircraft capacity. They have no radar. They have no leaders. Actually, their leaders are all gone, too. It's part of our problem. We don't know who the hell we're dealing with. They call up, this is Mohammed, so-and-so, and I say, are you a leader? We're looking for a leader. It's the only country in the world, nobody wants to be a leader. You know, they say, would anybody like to be president? And there are no takers. But I think we're doing a great job over there, actually. We have the, they use the Hormuz Strait as a weapon for many, many years. They said they'll close it. So they closed it, then I closed it on them, which is sort of, they want a little business, they get no business. But it's going to work out because everything works out. By the way, more oil is being drilled right now than at any time in the history of our country. We're doing double, think of this, we're doing double Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Double Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Nobody knows that. And you see all of those big, gorgeous ships coming up from all over the world because the strait is closed by us, and they're coming to Texas now and Louisiana to load up, big ones. 2 million barrels of oil, the big ones, those are the big ones. And they're all heading up, and you see the line, they call it the conga line. I don't know what that's supposed to represent, but you see those graphs, it's made from Space Force, We were responsible for Space Force. We needed Space Force. We were being killed in space by China, by Russia. In my first term, I created Space Force, first time in 79 years that we did a new division, a new grouping, because you had the Marines, the Army, Navy, the Marines. We had the Coast Guard. We have all of the different branches of government, the Air Force, and they thought the Air Force and the Space Force would stay together, but the Air Force wants the Air Force. They're not going to give, and space is so important now, and we did Space Force, and all of those things, many of those things that you're saying is because of Space Force. And now Space Force we were losing badly in space to Russia and China militarily. Now we're way in the lead, way in the lead. We have the greatest space capacity of any country in the world. So we're very proud of that. We need it. We need it for protection because it's a nasty world out there. We need it for protection. So we're very proud of Space Force, but they, among other things, they give you beautiful satellite pictures of what's happening in the world. And when you look at the Hormuz Strait and you see all of those ships, all of those people and ships that they want to get out or they want to get in, they're all over the place. They're like little ants, right? They look like a little anthill. And hundreds and hundreds of ships. And we have a Navy that is unbelievable. We put up, it's a blockade. It's a blockade. And you saw the other day where a massive tanker, this was bigger than 2 million barrels, a massive tanker was trying to run it, and the young captain of the ship from Annapolis, these guys are like central casting. You could put him in. I'd say something about Tom Cruise. I was going to say better looking than Tom Cruise and taller, but I'm not going to do that because he's a friend of mine. I can't do that. But they're like central cast. You could move them to Hollywood right now. They'd be movie stars. But you saw him saying, we have guns trained on your ship. Turn your ship around. Turn, and this is loudspeakers that go over the ocean, and they hear them from 2 miles away. Turn your ship around. Turn your ship around. And all of a sudden yes, we are going back to Iran. We are going back. They turned it around. It takes 10 miles to turn the sucker. It's not like turning around a bicycle. It's big stuff. And then we had the other one you saw from 4 days ago where they were going to ram we call it an iron wall. It's essentially an iron wall. We have such great military and great Navy. And they were going straight through. And they said, turn your ship around. And there was no response. Turn your ship around. Evacuate your engine room immediately. And you see all these guys running out of there. Now, they're 5 miles away, and one shot into the engine room, blew up the engine room. The ship stopped. They used tugboats, and then we landed on top of it. On top of everything else, we then land on top of it. And we took over the ship. We took over the cargo, took over the oil. It's a very profitable business. Who would have thought we were doing that? We're like pirates. We're sort of like pirates. But we're not playing games because, you know, for 47 years, Iran has been pushing everybody around. They're the bully of the Middle East. They've been scaring everybody, Israel and Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, all of them. They're all, it was the bully of the Middle East, I understand it. Bush made a mistake, he took out Iraq. You know, Iraq, and by the way, I congratulate the new president of Iraq. I endorsed him. I'm now in the business of endorsing political leaders from foreign countries, countries that nobody's ever seen before. And we have a pretty infallible record. We've won a lot of them, but I endorsed the man because we didn't like the man that was the president of Iraq, and we endorsed somebody that not a lot of people have heard of, and he won in a landslide. So I just spoke to him yesterday. But the relationships we have relationships that are very, very strong, very powerful relationships, and I think the Middle East is going to be taken care of. We had a lot of conversations with the leaders. I call them the new leaders. I call them the new regime. You know, they kept saying, the radical left, where is regime change? Well, if this isn't regime change, there's no such thing. Because Khomeini in the first tier was gone. The second tier is gone. Half of the third tier is gone, which is a problem. That's a problem. Because we are trying to figure out the right one to talk to. We talk to one, and then another one calls up. Let's make a deal. But I think we're in a very, I know we're in a very strong position. There's the expression that we've all heard, or many of us have heard, if you like the fights, if this were a fight, they'd stop it. But again, their military they have some missiles left. They have some missile-making capacity left. We've knocked out about 85% of their manufacturing capacity for new missiles out. We've knocked about 82%, but that means they have missiles left. We knocked out most of their drone-making factories, but they have some drone capacity left, and drones are pretty effective. But we've also developed, in the meantime, you know, if you remember, the German U-boats were a horror. Nobody could stop them, and then all of a sudden they come up with sonar, and it went from nobody could stop them that it was the worst place in the world to be is in a U-boat. The drone, anti-drone capacity that we have now is fantastic. They have new weapons, lasers. You can see the lasers. They go into a laser, they just burn like they just boom. And we have that, and we have very special machine guns with large-scale bullets operated by a computer. And as they come in, it just knocks them out like it's amazing. But with all of that being said, there's still danger. There's always danger with war. With war, you never know what happens. Look at Russia. It was supposed to be a one-day war, and it's 4 years, right? And you see that, and it's really a terrible war. And it's a lot of people died. Last month, they had 25,000 soldiers, mostly soldiers killed. It's like a bloodbath over there, and I think we'll get that. We've settled 8 wars, and that should be the 9th. I think we're going to get it done, but it's a rough one.